Welcome to Hot Springs National Park in Hot Springs, Arkansas. This is a national park like none other. This is actually a town, an urban national park. It has a brewery inside the national park. It has a bunch of historic bathhouses, and there are several hiking trails and a tower to view the national park. So I'm here for a weekend. I'm going to show you everything there is to do here in this area. Hot Springs National Park is located in the town of Hot Springs, Arkansas, about 50 miles southwest of Little Rock. The area has been valued for thousands of years. Many Native American tribes knew about the benefits of these hot springs and used them for healing and spiritual purposes. European exploration started in the area in the 18th century, and by the early 19th century, American settlers started arriving and settling in the surrounding area. Now, as part of the national park, you can go up this mountain tower and get an incredible view of the town of Hot Springs. So that's going to be our first stop here today. We are in the middle of a heat wave, and so I am cheating, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about it from the comfort of my air-conditioned car. This tower was built in the 1800s originally as a wood structure, and now it's nice and metal and has a elevator to the top. The elevator is a little rickety, but the views up there are amazing. There's 360-degree views from the entire valley and the town of Hot Springs. And it is considered part of the national park. So it's $13 to enter, but if you have the national park pass, you can go up there for free. And then there's a nice museum on the second level to learn a little bit more about the park. There's a number of trails in this area. You can actually hike all the way up here to the tower. Now, unfortunately, this is August in the middle of a heat wave, and it is far too hot for me to be hiking out in this heat and humidity. So I'm just going to tell you from my air-conditioned car that you can take a drive on a one-way road up through the mountains, and there's a few pullouts where you can look at the view, and there's some picnic areas, and then you can park and go visit the views from on top of the tower. What makes this park so special are 8 historic bathhouses here along Bathhouse Row. So we're going to go to each one of these and see what they have to offer here. This is not a quiet area to film, so I may have to do a little voiceover to tell you a little bit more about it. The bathhouse culture developed organically as people sought to harness the spring's medicinal benefits. The grand bathhouses along Bathhouse Row were built in the early 1900s. These elaborate facilities became the centerpiece of Hot Springs' identity as Spa City. It was known as the first resort for its healing waters. This is the Lamar Bathhouse that was completed in 1923. And in this bathhouse is the official Hot Springs National Park store. This is where you're going to want to go for your souvenirs. This is the Buckstaff Baths. Now here you can still visit the bathhouse in, they have more of the traditional bathing services in this bathhouse. This is the only bathhouse to continually stay open since it was originally founded, and a lot of the services they have here today is still in the traditional bathhouse sense. So there's massage and there's bath services here. Now this parking garage is where I parked, and it used to be free parking, but now they do charge for parking. It is not a lot. It is $1 an hour, and you can find some covered spaces, or you can pay to park, parallel park along this main highway here. And then there's a few lots like over here. Says this was a mission style that may relate to the claim that Spanish explorer Hernando de Soto visited the hot springs. This is how it appeared in 1915. The red tile roof and the white adobe. So inside the Ozark Bathhouse, they have an interactive science museum for the whole family. So if I have time, I'll check that out a little later so you can see what they have to offer here. And it says they do have an interactive, fun history of the bathhouses. Now I'll tell you, it is a noisy street here. Lots of loud engines and motorcycles. They also have these duck tours running. These, and what do you know? Another noisy motorcycle. Now this is the beautiful Quapaw baths. This reminds me kind of a spa with mineral hot springs, different tubs that the public can come in. They do have private soaking experiences. I plan on visiting here a little later today. Now this is the visitor center. Just a gorgeous historic building here. Free admission to the museum. Incredibly gorgeous structure here. This one was inspired by the spas of Europe. With this beautiful stained glass, and look at this old picture. This is the Maurice Bathhouse Therapeutic Pool. In 1911, they replaced an elegant but wooden Victorian building with the bathhouse you see today. I guess that's what it originally looked like. So this one in here, the Maurice Bathhouse, is locked. There's some chairs in there. My guess is maybe they would open occasionally for special events, but it's not open to the general public right now. Now, if you want to do any shopping, there is a ton of cute little stores. And the Waters actually looks like an incredible hotel here across the street. I did want to stay here, but it was a little out of my budget for this trip. That white building right there is the Waters. I do recommend if it's in your budget. Where? This one here says Hail. There's a restaurant in here, the Eden Restaurant, inside this bathhouse. This bathhouse was built in 1892, drastically altered it in 1914 and 1939. So now inside here is a restaurant, the Eden Restaurant. Happy hour from 3 to 5. And here's the menu and everything that you can find here. It's a beautiful structure as well. This is the Superior Bathhouse, and its claim to fame is this is the only brewery located inside an official national park. We're going to come and check this out later. So let's go inside the visitor center and find out more about the history of these bathhouses. The bathhouse culture developed organically as people sought to harness the spring's medicinal benefits. The grand bathhouses along Bathhouse Row were built in the early 1900s. These elaborate facilities became the centerpiece of Hot Springs' identity as Spa City. It was known as the first resort for its healing waters. People visited these bathhouses for general wellness, kind of like going to the gym, as well as to treat specific conditions. This is Dr. Timothy Leroy Bottoms. He was a famous foot health specialist who worked on the staff of the bathhouse in the late 50s. This is the women's parlor where the gals would come down to rest and cool down and socialize after receiving treatment. Look at the hoses and the contraptions here to work this tub. If you were injured, you could get lowered into the tub by a wooden stretcher. This was recommended in cases of polio, arthritis, rheumatism, paralysis, and other ailments for stiff joints. Interesting. There's a massage room, a gym, And this is the famous men's bathing house with this famous piece of stained glass. It just doesn't sound very exciting and appealing these days, in this day and age, to have a public bath in a group setting. But this beautiful stained glass above me has more than 8,000 pieces. It's really beautiful. This is crazy. Head out vapor cabinets. This looks like a torture chamber. It's probably hard to see with the reflection on the glass and the noise in here, but you basically would lay or sit with your head out and get vaporized. Interesting. Very fascinating history. And now it is the heat of the day and I'm waiting to check into my hotel. And I'm gonna go see if I can soak and relax these tired muscles here at the Quapaw Baths. Now you have to come with a swimsuit. You have to come with rubber shoes, like maybe Crocs or some sort of rubber sandals. And there are no reservations, so it's first come, first serve. Now it said no photos or videos, and I understand you need to be respectful for people using the baths. So we'll see. We'll see if I can sneak a photo or two, but I'm gonna go relax and I'll be back with you a little later, show you more of this cool area. Well, I kind of feel like a wet noodle. I probably am not fit to be on camera, but I spent about an hour in this particular bathhouse. They have 4 large hot tubs at different temperatures filled with the mineral water, and there's a strict no cell phone policy. So no pictures, no videos inside, but it was a nice experience. They have lockers for you to put your stuff, and they have private showers where you kind of shower before you get in the hot tub, and then you can just relax. There's an attendant in there, has water for you to drink, ice cold water, and a very relaxing experience. As you can see, I am very relaxed, so I highly recommend it. It's a little over $30, and you can stay as long as you'd like. They also have spa services if you want a massage or something like that as well. And now I'm just relaxing here on the porch after the tub. The traffic is definitely noisy here. Even though it's super hot outside, I still very much enjoyed my visit. And so I've got a little more time before it's time to go to the room, so I am gonna go relax even more with a visit to the Superior Brewery. Hopefully there won't be too long of a wait. Trying Sweet Nectar of the Gods, the Bee's Knees, Space Force Hazy IPA, and they actually have a jalapeno ale. I am super curious, so I'm going to try that. I don't know if I mentioned this, but it says it's the world's only beer brewed with thermal spring water. That's interesting as well. It's a cute place. Okay, we've got the nectar, Sweet Nectar of the Gods. It's a cream ale, spicy ride, jalapeno ale. That's a first for me. Space Force IPA, and the Bee's Knees with honey and basil. The jalapeno ale is so interesting. It really is spicy, and it actually smells like jalapenos. I think a whole glass would be too much for me, but it's very interesting. First time I've ever seen this. Nice bite, and it tastes great with this pretzel I'm eating. So here's the outdoor seating. It's a beautiful park here, just north of the Superior Bathhouse. So before I forget, I want to give a shout out to Mike R. When I was a very young, early on YouTuber, I wasn't very young, but it was young in my YouTube career, he actually reached out to me and recommended that I come and visit Hot Springs National Park. And I just want you to know that was several years ago, but I had not forgotten. And I appreciate that. I appreciate recommendations. So if you're watching, let me know down in the comments. I just want to tell you, thank you. This is the historic Arlington Hotel, the oldest hotel in Arkansas here in Hot Springs. And this is another great place to stay if you're staying here. However, it's a historic hotel and it's currently undergoing renovations. I usually love to stay at historic hotels, but I decided to wait it out. I do come to Arkansas occasionally, and so I want to wait until it's restored, the renovations are complete, and then I'll stay in there. They even have an Al Capone room. Apparently this is where Al Capone used to stay during his visits to Hot Springs. And there are a few pretty spectacular rooms that you can stay in at that hotel. And some of the rooms actually have the mineral hot springs water pumped to the bathtubs. But not today. After it's renovated, I'll come back and have another stay there at that hotel. Apparently the area ended up transforming into a gangster haven during the 1920s through the 60s when Hot Springs became known for illegal gambling, prostitution, and bootleg alcohol. What a beautiful old world hotel. We do have a Starbucks here in the lobby. Pretty stunning. Famous visitors such as Al Capone, Lucky Luciano, and Bugsy Siegel all flocked to this Arkansas getaway, building mansions and frequenting these bathhouses, turning the city into an adult playground. There they are, the Gambling Museum. Maybe I'll have to check that out.
Come on over. For a small fee,
Zoltar.
Zoltar will give you a
And this is where you can find your duck tours in front of the Wax Museum. This Ohio Club looks very historic. Since 1905. They've got live music. Looks like maybe a bar or restaurant. Oh yeah, it is happening. Looks like a fun place. So Hot Springs, I guess, was a big baseball place a lot of spring training happened here. A lot of well-known old school baseball players used to come and hang out here. Now in 1927, the first park ranger that was ever killed in the line of duty, he was killed by bootleggers while patrolling on West Mountain in Hot Springs National Park. Behind the bathhouses is a beautiful walk called the Promenade. It's a paved path that goes all the way behind the bathhouses and it leads to some beautiful natural springs. So today was far too hot for me to do the walk, but I do get up the next morning and walk from my hotel over to the Promenade. So if you're interested in taking a closer look at that area, you're gonna watch the next video that'll be out in a few days. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and I hope you can subscribe.